If you look at the raw data, the lion is a fraud. We call it the king of the jungle. We put it on flags and coats of arms. But statistically, it is a terrible hunter. A single lion fails about 75% of the time. It chases, it gets tired, the gazelle gets away. The great white shark isn't much better. It fails to catch its prey about 50% of the time. Even wolves, who hunt in highly coordinated tactical packs, come home empty-handed on half of their hunts. In the eyes of nature, these apex predators are barely competent amateurs. They rely on luck and brute force, and they fail constantly. But there is a killer on this planet that doesn't rely on luck. It does not hunt in a pack. It does not hide in the dark to ambush unsuspecting victims. It hunts in broad daylight, and it hits its target 95% of the time. If this creature decides to eat you, it is already a mathematical certainty. You are essentially already dead. Your brain just hasn't processed it yet. It is the most successful assassin that evolution has ever engineered. It is the dragonfly. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's a bug. It's pretty. It lands on cattails near a pond. How terrifying can it be? You should be terrified. Because the dragonfly isn't just an insect. It is an aeronautical anomaly that breaks the laws of physics as we understand them.
What the?
To understand why this animal is so impossible, we have to look at how humans build flying machines. We have two main designs. We have the plane, which is fast and efficient but cannot stop or turn quickly. And we have the helicopter, which can hover and turn, but is slow and incredibly unstable. The dragonfly is both, and it is better at both than any machine we have ever built. It possesses 4 wings, but unlike almost every other flying insect, unlike the bee, the fly, or the butterfly, the dragonfly has independent neural control over each separate wing. It doesn't just flap, it rows the air. It can beat the front wings up while beat the back wings down, creating whirlwinds of lift that shouldn't exist. This allows it to do things that make aerodynamicists sweat. It can stop instantly in midair. It can fly backward. It can fly upside down. And when it turns, it doesn't bank like a plane, it simply changes direction, pulling up to 30 Gs of force. To put that in perspective, a human fighter pilot in a G-suit passes out at 9 Gs. If you tried to turn like a dragonfly, the blood would be ripped out of your brain, your capillaries would burst, and your skeleton would likely shatter under the pressure. The dragonfly does this casually, thousands of times a day, just to catch a snack. But here is the catch. Being the best pilot in the world is useless if you can't see what you're trying to hit. Speed is nothing without perception. And this is where the dragonfly stops being an animal and starts becoming a computer. The head of a dragonfly is a marvel of biological engineering. It is basically all eye. It is a helmet made of 30,000 individual lenses called ommatidia, wrapping 360 degrees around its skull. It can see above, below, behind, and in front, all at the same time. It has no blind spot. But the superpower isn't what they see. It is how fast they see it. The human brain is slow. We process visual information at a refresh rate of about 60 images per second. That's why, when you watch a movie, you see smooth motion. It's actually a series of still pictures, but your brain is too slow to notice the gaps, so it blurs them together into reality. The dragonfly does not have this limitation. It processes visual information at up to 300 images per second. This means it experiences the passage of time differently than we do. To a dragonfly, the world is moving in slow motion. When a fly zips past you, it's a blur. You try to swat it and you miss.
Missed it again.
But to a dragonfly, that fly is lazily drifting through the air. It is living in bullet time. Imagine trying to box against an opponent who can see your punch coming 5 times slower than you can throw it. That is what it's like to be hunted by a dragonfly. It watches its prey flap its wings, frame by frame, and adjusts its own flight path with the leisure of someone parking a car. However, having a super fighter jet body and supercomputer eyes still doesn't explain a 95% kill rate. Lions are fast. Hawks have great eyes. They still fail. The dragonfly's true secret, the reason it is the perfect killer, is a terrifying piece of neurology that scientists call interception targeting. Most predators engage in what is called pursuit predation. When a cheetah chases a gazelle, it runs at the gazelle. If the gazelle turns left, the cheetah turns left. It is a reaction. It is lagging behind reality. The dragonfly does not do this. When a dragonfly takes off, it doesn't fly toward where the prey is. It flies toward where the prey will be. Its brain locks onto the target and instantly calculates a complex trigonometry equation. It factors in the speed of the fly, the trajectory, the wind resistance, and its own gap closure speed. It solves this math in milliseconds. It doesn't chase, it intercepts. Scientists have studied this by painting dots on dragonflies and tracking them with high-speed cameras. They found that as the dragonfly closes in, the prey never moves in the dragonfly's field of view. It stays perfectly centered. This is a navigation technique called constant bearing decreasing range. It is the exact same guidance algorithm we use in heat-seeking missiles. It effectively tells the universe, I will be at coordinate X at exactly this timestamp. If the prey is there, it dies. And because the prey, a moth or a mosquito, has a tiny brain that is just reacting to the moment, it has no idea it is flying into a trap until it is too late. But let's say, by some miracle, you are that 5% that survives the approach. Let's say you see it coming. You are about to meet the final horror of the dragonfly design. Because it doesn't just catch you with its feet, it catches you with its face. If you look at the mouth of a dragonfly, it looks disturbingly familiar. It looks like the monster from Alien. Most insects chew with mandibles attached to their skull. The dragonfly has evolved a lower lip called the labium. But lip is the wrong word. It is a hydraulic extendable arm folded up under its chin. When it gets within range, it doesn't bite. It shoots this face arm forward using hydraulic pressure from its own body fluids. It happens in a fraction of a second. The labium shoots out, armed with hooks and teeth, grabs the prey, and drags it back into the shredding jaws. It is a nightmare mechanism. It allows the dragonfly to snatch prey out of the air without even slowing down. It eats while it flies. It dismembers its victim, swallows the fuel, and immediately starts scanning for the next target. It is a perpetual motion machine of death. The most disturbing part of all of this? Evolution didn't just invent this yesterday. We are used to thinking of insects as short-lived, fragile things. But the dragonfly is ancient. They have been on this planet for 300 million years. They were here before the dinosaurs. They were here before birds. They were here before flowers existed. Back in the Carboniferous period, in the oxygen-rich atmosphere, they were the size of hawks. Imagine a predator with a 95% kill rate, moving faster than your eye can see, seeing the world in slow motion, but it has a wingspan of 2 feet. They ruled the skies before anything else learned how to fly. And in those 300 million years, they have barely changed. The dinosaurs rose, conquered the world, and died. The mammals rose, grew fur, and took over. The ice ages came and went. Continents smashed together and ripped apart. And through it all, the dragonfly kept hunting. Evolution usually changes things. It fixes flaws. It updates software. The fact that the dragonfly has remained basically unchanged for 300 million years tells us something chilling. It tells us that in the eyes of nature, this design cannot be improved. There are no bugs to fix. There are no upgrades to install. It is small. It is beautiful. And it is the most perfect killing machine Earth has ever created.